What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to talk about a bill that finally passed the Senate. So it needs to go to the House. They'll be voting on this bill today, and then they're going to move forward. And there's more stuff on the calendar, and we're going to take a look at that calendar because I think it's very important for us to focus on what they're getting done and what needs to get done. We know how Congress works. They're very, very slow, and I talked about this. I talked about this last week, and we're going to go over the same calendar that I was looking at last week, as well as a couple of days ago. I brought the calendar back up, but we want to stay on track, and hopefully they can get some of this other legislation done before the midterms. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. But first off, on this channel, we talk about money and the financial struggles that Americans are facing today. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's talk about the bill that passed. So the bill that passed was a gun reform bill. Okay, it passed the Senate. Now, I know there are a lot of people in my audience that aren't really interested in gun reform. However, this is important because this allows Congress to move forward. Okay, they were spending all their time talking about gun reform and negotiating gun reform, this bipartisan group that they got together. So it's important that they're moving past this, and now they can move into some type of a larger bill, like a Build Back Better or something. Okay, that is the talk. That's where they want to go from here. So let's go ahead and let me show you this. This is coming from Morning Brew. Now, every morning, go back to this, every morning, and I always give them a spill. I'm not being sponsored by them, but I just like to let you guys know where I'm getting my information from. So Morning Brew is a newsletter, and every morning I take a look at this newsletter, and it has a lot of valuable information, and it allows me to get my day started. Okay, so I don't have to get on and watch the news or anything like that. I can go to Morning Brew and get all my news there. And then as the day progresses, then I'll start looking at different news outlets. But the first thing that I do when I get up in the morning, I check all my notifications, and then I take a look at Morning Brew. Okay, so this is coming from them. So what's in this bill, this gun reform bill? So there's enhanced background checks for young gun buyers. There's funding for school safety and mental health, and incentives for states to enact red flag laws. So that's pretty much the gun reform bill. There's a lot of stuff that's not in there that was talked about before, universal background checks and things like that. So there are a lot of different things that they didn't incorporate in the bill. There were even people talking about banning assault rifles or raising the age limit for assault rifles from 18 to 21 in some states, because some states have it at 18. So a lot of that stuff did not make it into this bill. But nonetheless, this bill will go to the House, and the House will vote on it, and it probably will get passed sometime later today. Okay, I want to take a look at the calendar because this is very important for us to focus on the calendar so we can make sure that Congress is doing what they're supposed to be doing, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and erase all this. I just did a video a couple of days ago, and we were using the same calendar. So we're going to go back to it because now we have an update to make, which is good. All right, so just looking at the calendar here, the 24th was that key date that we were really focused on, because we know on the 24th, guess what? They're going on recess, okay? So June 24th, that's when they go on recess. So that is today. And this is travel day for me too. So just so you guys know, I will be traveling today. And I will try to keep up with the videos. I might not have a video on Saturday, but I will have a video on Sunday. And what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to take at least one of the weekend days off and not do a video. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Ideally, the way that I want to have the channels, I want to do videos Monday through Friday and then have Saturday and Sunday off. But there's always something that comes up on a Saturday or Sunday that I want to share with you guys. And maybe in the future, in the very near future, what I'll do is I'll start doing a live stream on the weekends, and we'll just kind of do a recap of what happened the week prior. So that is a thought that I have. So let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in that, doing a live stream on Saturday or Sunday, and then doing regular Monday through Friday scheduling. Okay. So we know what, so far we know that the gun reform or gun safety, that is done. Okay, so they got this done. And I say it's done only because the Senate is always the large hurdle. If you can get it past the Senate, the House is going to pass it. So we anticipate later today that the House will pass this bill. So it will go to the president and the president will sign off on it. So gun safety, we're able to get that done. Now, the only thing that I can see, and this probably won't happen, but you could see some pushback from the House. You could have some progressives in the House saying, you know what, we want more, and they might make some changes. And if they make changes, then guess what? The House can vote on it, pass it, and now they have to send it back to the Senate if they make changes. So we'll have to see what they do. I think that in this situation, that they'll go ahead and pass this because they're going on recess. They don't really have time to change this bill in any way, because if they do, then that means that they're going to have to forego their recess and take care of this bill before they leave. So it's I'm pretty positive that the House will go ahead and just pass it without making any major changes, but I could be wrong, and we'll find out later today. All right. So now we're looking at recess, and they'll be on recess until the 11th. Okay, so this is when the Senate will return, and then both the House and the Senate will be back in session on the 12th. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. The 11th, the Senate returns. The 12th, the House returns, and so then they'll both be in session on the 12th. Now, what is on the table? What is on the table? We know inflation's still a key major a factor in how they're going to move when it comes to different things. We know this gas tax holiday, this is something that the president is asking for. He's asking Congress to act on that. So that's probably going to be something that they take up. The Speaker Pelosi, doesn't seem to be very enthusiastic about moving forward with a gas tax holiday. So we'll have to see if it even passes, but that is something that they're going to be focused on. Some other things that we need to look at. A Build Back Better style large legislation. Okay, this is something that they've been talking about, and we know right now their focus is lowering prescription medication, taxing the rich is what you hear a lot of Democrats say, and then lowering the cost of energy. Okay, so those are the key factors. These are the two things. So when we're looking at it, this and this, these are the two things that they're going to be focused on until the midterms. Okay. So, and then also we have to look at the budget, because that's something that they'll be talking about as well. And then we can't forget this $2,400 boost for Social Security. Now, this is not going to be at the forefront. There are other things that they want to focus on. Like I said, all the other things we talked about, the budget, they're going to be talking about this gas tax holiday, and then they're going to be trying to figure out a different Build Back Better style legislation. So those are the things that they're going to be focused on. And then Social Security will probably be something that will come later, maybe later this year. They'll start addressing that. So looking at the calendar again, just one more time, I just want to let you guys know they'll be back on the 12th, both the House and the Senate. And so then they're going to start taking up this legislation. And let's hope they can get something done. The Senate will be in session for a month. The House will be in session for 3 weeks. And so let's hope they can get at least, I think ideally, if they can talk about the gas tax holiday, get that resolved, however they're going to do it, and then really start working on a larger bill, I think that would be great. And they could even try to do a reconciliation bill where they add the $2,400 boost to Social Security with Build Back Better. That would be ideal. And then they'll have the time to just focus on the budget. But we have to understand they're going to be on recess pretty much. The House will be on recess all of August, and the Senate will be on recess most of August. And then when they return in September, this is going to be the time that they're going to be focused on the budget. Okay, that's when they're going to be really looking at the budget and trying to figure out what to do and how to move forward with the budget. So realistically, if they can do the gas tax holiday in July, as well as Build Back Better / $2,400 Social Security reform, that all has to go in July, because that's pretty much, they're going to run out of time if they can't get that done. So that's what we're looking at right now. But it is good news. They were able to move forward with gun reform. And so now we can see some of this other legislation moving forward as well. Let's hope, fingers crossed. Now we need to hold people accountable. We need to hold these politicians accountable. So we're watching them very closely. We should be watching them very closely. And there are a lot of people in the comments that continue to say, you know what, nothing's going to get done. They're not going to do anything. Well, when it comes down to it, if you say things like that and politicians hear it, they're probably not going to do anything because that's the expectation. If you set that expectation like you need to get this done, that's a whole different story. Now you're putting pressure on politicians. But when you tell a politician they're not going to do it anyway, they're dysfunctional, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, they never do this, they never do that, then you know what? The expectation is that they're not going to get it done, so why get it done? So that's kind of my attitude when it comes down to it. Obviously, we know that Congress is dysfunctional and there are a lot of problems with Congress, but we still need to hold them to a standard where, look, you're there, you're making $175,000 a year, you need to show some results. That's our expectation. Because in my opinion, the expectation should be set high for them and they need to meet those expectations if they want to stay in office. I want to know what you guys think about all this, so let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.